Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night thinking about her? Maybe it's the way she looked at you today, like her eyes held something she wasn't quite saying. Maybe it was the subtle shift in her voice when she spoke your name. Or maybe it's just that quiet tug in your gut, that feeling that there's something between you two. But here's the truth. When a woman truly likes you, her feelings almost always find a way out. Not through words, but through signs. Powerful, subconscious, unmistakable. And if you're not trained to see them, you might miss your one real shot at something meaningful in today's episode. I'll walk you through the 3 psychological signs a woman shows when she secretly likes you and exactly what to do when you notice them. We'll dive deep into the emotional ang. She speaks without even realizing it through her body, her presence, and her eyes. And once you know how to read her, you'll never have to guess again. This is Dark Psychology. I'm Amelia. Let's begin understanding the female mind. The psychology of attraction. Before we decode the signs, we need to understand something that most men overlook. Attraction isn't always loud, especially not for women. In fact, it's often the opposite. Quiet, nuanced, even poetic in its own way. While men might express interest more directly, a compliment, a text, a stare. Women tend to operate in the shadows of the emotional spectrum. Her attraction is soft and hidden in how she feels around you, not just what she says. Why? Because for many women, attraction is rooted in emotional safety, confidence, and curiosity. When she feels drawn to you, she may not fully understand why, but her body, her instincts start to shift. Psychology tells us that women often send out subtle signals of interest before they consciously acknowledge their feelings. Her nervous laughter, that fleeting glance, the way her energy changes when you're near. These are all clues from her subconscious. And science backs this up. Women are highly responsive to nonverbal communication. Things like facial expressions, tone of voice, and especially body language. Studies show these subconscious behaviors often betray true emotionalizers long before a conscious confession of affection. So when a woman is genuinely interested, even if she hasn't told a single soul, her body and behavior begin to speak. Now, let's break down what that looks like. Starting with one of the most fascinating phenomena in human behavior. Sign number 1. She mirrors your body language and behavior. This one is deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology, and it's more common than you think. Mirroring is when someone subconsciously imitates your gestures, speech patterns, posture, or expressions. It's not copying, it's chemistry. Real invisible alignment. Let me explain. Imagine you're sitting across from her. You cross your legs. Seconds later, she crosses hers. 2. Same direction. You tilt your head when you're explaining something, and she starts tilting hers. You laugh in shallows, not just at your joke, but in some rhythm as you. That's mirroring him. And it's a powerful sign. Why do women do this? Because the subconscious mind mirrors those we feel emotional iconic to. It's the body's way of saying, I feel close to you, I trust you, I want to be in sync. A study in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that mirroring increased when romantic interest is high. It's not fake, it's instinct. It's not trying to seduce you. Her body is simply reacting to her emotions. And here's how to spot it. Does she adopt similar posture as Sue during conversation? Do her hand gestures echo yours? Shortly after, does your vocal tone, speed, or rhythms start to sound like yours after a few minutes? I-Fies, she's not just listening, she's single quotes as beyond ding. So, what should you do when this happens? Mirror her back, but naturally don't copy her like a robot. That's creepy. Instead, allow the interaction to flow. Maintain good eye contact. Keep the conversation meaningful and gradually pawn up. This is your moment to build emotional momentum, not rush toward a confession. Remember, attraction is a dance, not a declaration. Sign number 2. She finds excuses to be around you or talk to you. Let's be honest, people don't just end up in your space over and over by accident. Not when the world is full of options and distractions. When a woman likes you, she doesn't always declare it directly. She might not say, "Hey, I want to be near you," but she'll show you in her own quiet, calculated way. She'll manufacture proximity. That means she'll find little and sometimes very creative ways to be near you, talk to you, or stay involved in your world. She might disguise it as coincidence, but psychology knows better. Let's break it down. Real-life examples: self-proximity signaling. You're at a gathering, standing in a circle, talking, and somehow she ends up right next to you again and again. Shed Ghost. Happens to be at the cafe you mentioned offhand last week. She messages you about something casual, a meme, a random question, even something she could have Googled, but she didn't Google it. She asked you. She leaves comments on your stories, reacts to your updates, or sends playful emojis, seemingly innocent, but it keeps the door open. At first glance, these things might seem small. But here's the truth. When a woman repeatedly chooses to engage with you, even subtly, she's signaling interest. Why does she do these? It's the psychology behind it, according to behavioral science. We are biologically wired to seek closeness with those we're emotionally drawn to, and women in particular are often more strategic and emotionally aware about this. She may not want to risk rejection, especially if she's unsure how you feel. So instead of making a bold move, she sends low-risk signals, giving you the chance to meet her halfway. This is called reciprocal baiting. She's testing. Will you notice? Will you spend? Will you make it easy for her to keep being around you? If you do, she lean in. If you don't, she might back off to protect her pride. The power of closeness. It's not random. Psychologist Dr. Albert Morabian, known for his research on emotional community, discovered that physical proximity actually increases emotional lineage. Think about it. The closer someone is to us physically, the more we begin to trust them. Even subtle closeness are like standing just a few inches nearer can dramatically increase emotional connection. So if a woman intentionally closes space between you, even in small ways, that's a major subconscious sign she's trying to bond. What to watch for? The subtle clues. Ask yourself, is she often seated or standing near you, even when she could be elsewhere? Does she linger after conversations end, even if there's no real reason to stay? Does she make small excuses to ask your opinion, your help, or your input, even on things she likely already knows? If the answer is yes to any of those, she's not just being polite. She's staying near because you make her feel something. What to do? If you notice Cephas, here's where many men make a mistake. They freeze, overthink, or pull back. But that hesitation sends the wrong signal. Instead, acknowledge her presence with warmth. A smile, a light. Good to see you again. If she messages you, respond with interest, not just emojis or one-word answers. When Schellingers, don't rush off. Invite her into the moment. Ask something meaningful. This isn't about chasing. It's about giving her permission to keep showing up. 'Cause when a woman feels that being around you is safe, welcomed, and reciprocated, that's when she stops testing and starts panning up. Sign number 3. Her eyes tell the real story. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. And when it comes to attraction, they're also the most revealing. You see? When a woman is interested in you, her eyes behave differently. It's not always about how much she looks butho. She looks. What lingers behind that gaze? What hides in that flicker before she turns away? In fact, psychology confirms that eye contact plays a huge role in emotional connection, especially romantic attraction. Let's unpack the signs you should never ignore. Key eye behaviors to watch for in lingering eye contact. She doesn't just glance at you. She holds your gaze just a second longer than normal. Not in a creepy way. It's soft, it's charged, It's meaningful. This kind of eye contact says, I see you. I'm curious about you. I'm comfortable with you. If you notice her eyes locking with yours, even during casual moments, that's not by accident. 2. Glance and look away. Ever caught her looking A2 when she thought you weren't looking, only for her to glance away instantly? That's one of the clearest spontaneous signals of attraction. It often comes with a flush of vetchix, a nervous smile, or a quick change in topic. Why does she do this? Because she's still unsure how you feel. So she's watching you from a distance, trying to decode your signals before veveling hers through dilated pupils. This one is biological. When someone is aroused, excited, or emotional listomat, their pupils expand. And while lighting conditions can also cause dilation, consistent pupil expansion when looking at you is a strong physiological sign of interest. It means her body is reacting to you even if her words aren't. Fry smiles, Akadushin smiles. Here's the difference between a fake smile and a real one. Ariel's smile lights up the eyes. The muscles around them crinkle, soften, and become expressive. If you walk into a room and her eyes light up before her mouth even moves, you've just walked into her emotional space. It's not just happy. She's happy because you are rather. It's the science behind eye contact and attraction, a groundbreaking studying. The archives of sexual behavior found that prolonged mutual eye contact significantly increases feelings of romantic and emotional closeness, even between strangers. And there's a reason. Eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It enhances trust, builds intimacy, and increases emotional availability. When a woman stares into her eyes and allows you to stare into hers, it creates a silent emotional circuit, a feedback loop that grows stronger with every second it's held. The look-back test. This one's classic hand, brutally effective. You feel like Simeon's watching you. You turn in, Anjay quickly looks away. Maybe she pretends to check her phone. Maybe she starts talking to Sami and Niels. But her body just gave her away. Now wait, if she glances back a few moments later, it's almost to see if you're not imagining things. That's nervous excitement. That's hurtling to gauge your reaction. That's attraction peeking through the cracks of restraint. And if this happens more than she's watching you because anything in her already belongs to you, even if she hasn't admitted it yet. What to do when you catch her eye? First, don't overdo it. Don't stare like you're trying to read her soul. That can feel invasive. Instead, smile slowly. Let your eyes soften. Let her know she's safe in your gaze. Hold the moment, then release it. Look away for a second, then meet her eyes again. The contextolo spark a gentle conversation, something light, easy. Let your presence become something she craves, not something she feels interrogated by. When she sees that you're emotionally linked enough to notice the subtle things, and calm enough to hold themament with grace, that's when her interest evolves into connection. Bonus signs to watch for. Attractionist always one big gesture. Morphed in, it's a collection of tiny, beautiful moments like puzzle piece scattered across a table. And if you know how to look closely, you can see full picture. Let's talk about the bonus signs. The often misbehaviors that whisper, I like ho. When her words never do. 1, she plays with her hair while talking to you. This one is subtle but incredibly telling. When a woman twirls a strand, brushes her fingers through her hair, or even adjusts it repeatedly while talking to you, it's often a signal of nervous energy mixed with attraction. Why? Because hair is symbolic, it's sensual and personal. Touching. It draws your attention toward her face, her neck, her presence. This behavior is soft and unconscious. She doesn't mean to do it, but her nerves and excitement come out through movement. Especially Heen. She's trying to make a good impression. Do she laughs? More at your jokes, even the bad ones. Let's be real. Not all your jokes are that funny. Beauty if she's giggling, smiling, or a vendoing, that playful eye-roll laugh, a tear-dry humor, or dad jokes. She's not just being polite. She's trying to build emotional resonance with you. She wants you to feel confident, to keep talking, to keep engaging. Laughter is one of the quickest ways to create emotional bonding. When she laughs with you or for you, she's investing in that bond. 3. She remembers the small Vinzu say. Ever mention something in passing? Your favorite song, your pet's name, your coffee order, and she brings it up later. That's emotional attention. When a woman remembers details that didn't matter to anyone else, but clearly matter to you, she's paying attention, Bez. She cares. She's trying to understand the world through your eyes. And that level of memory isn't random. It's emotionally fueled. 4. She touches her neck or collarbone. This one is often misunderstood. Yet incredibly powerful. The neck and collarbone are some of the most vulnerable, sensitive areas of the human body. When a woman touches this area during a conversation, especially while maintaining eye contact, she's unconsciously exposing a softer, more feminine side. It's a nonverbal display of vulnerability. It's a primal way of showing she feels open around you. Again, this isn't manipulation, it's instinct. Her body responding to the emotional safety you're creating. 5. She adjusts her appearance when you walk in. This is one of the mostiness signs. You enter the room and suddenly she's straightening her posture, smoothing her outfit. She can a reflection, reapplying gloss, or fixing her hair. That's not vanity, that's signal sending. She wants to look her best, not for attention from everyone, but specifically from you. And she may not even realize she's doing it. Her body is simply responding to the presence of someone who matters. Why these signs matter together? Individually, none of these signs are definitive. But when several appear together, especially alongside the core 3 signs we discussed earlier, you're no longer guessing. You're reading Astery, a story written in body language, tone, and energy. A story that says, I see you. I notice you. I want you to notice me too. Why so many men miss these signs? Most men don't miss these signs because they're blind. They miss them because they've been taught to only trust loud, obvious declarations of love. But that's not how many women express affection, especially early on. Women want to feel safe before they open up, respected before they reveal desire, valued before they let down their guard. If you're looking for fireworks, you might overlook the slow burning flame. And sometimes when she senses you aren't treading the signs, she backs off. Not because she's no longer interested, but because she's afraid she's the only one feeling it. Let's recap the 3 core signs, plus bonus cues. You don't need to be a mind redditor to know when a woman likes you. You just need to observe. Listen, and trust what her behavior is already revealing. Let's go over what we've uncovered. 3 psychological signs a woman likes you. 1. She mirrors your behavior when she subconsciously copies your posture, gestures, or even your tone. Her body is aligning with yours emotionally. She's feeling connection, safety, and rhythm with you. She finds ways to be around you, whether challengers near you, messages you without a clear reason, or ends up in the same spaces. She's creating opportunities for closeness, not because she has to, but because she wants to. 3. Her eyes give everything away. Long gazes. Quick glances when she thinks you're not looking. Pupils dilating, her eyes reflect emotional likeness, curiosity, and unspecunisire. You just have to be brave in auto. Look back. Bonus signs that reinforceth message. She plays with her hair around you. She laughs more, even at 2 or worse jokes. She remembers details no one else does. She touches her neck or collarbone. She fixes her appearance at the moment you show up. These cues on their own may seem small, but together they paint a clear picture. You're not just another guy in the room. You're Theon she's paying attention to. What does she do next with confidence? Here's where your role begins. If you recognize his signs and you feel the same, you don't need to plan a grand confession. You don't need a cheesy pickup line or some manipulative trick. What you need is presence. Smile at her when she enters the room. Hold eye contact without flinching or overcompensating. Mirror her energy in a way that feels natural and safe. Start conversation shot. Go beyond surface level. Offer her emotional space to step forward, not pressured to react. Because when a woman senses that you understand her subtle language, she opens up even more. When she feels safe, seen, and not judged for her signals, she lets her guard down, and that's when something real begins. If you miss the signs, here's what happens. If you don't notice, or if you hesitate too long, she may think you're not interested. She may retreat in taselance, assuming it was all in her head. She may redirect her attention towards someone who did notice, not because you did something wrong, but because women don't stay where they feel invisible. So if you see the signs, don't ignore them. Respond gently, authentically. She's waiting for a sign from you. Sometimes all she's waiting for is your signal. Not a grand gesture, not a sweeping confession, just something that says, I see you, too. So, the next time you catch her eyes locking with yours or notice her standing a little closer, or feel her energy syncing with yours, know this, she's already reaching out. And maybe, just maybe, it's time you'll reach back. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to drop a comment below. Have you ever noticed any of these signs? Hit the like button to help this reach more people like you. Subscribe for more deep dive relationship psychology, straight from dark psychology, where we decode the hidden layers of human attraction. Thanks for watching. I'm Amelia. And remember, the mind may be complex. Beauty attraction doesn't lie. You just have talk nowhere to.